I wanted to talk to you today about the absolute worst word you can hear in sales. You guessed it, no, no, no. Now, I want to kind of flip that a little bit on its side and change your thinking about that. When a customer says no to the sale, I believe what they're actually saying is, I don't have enough information to make a good decision on that right now. So today I'd like to talk to you about embracing the no. So you see, when we look at things from the customer's eyes, we're apt to get a lot more yeses. You see, often we get the no when we get into selling mode. We're doing a lot more selling than we are listening to the customers. Do you know what the customer's needs are? What are their plans for that vehicle? Ask them. It will lead to a lot more yeses. So here's a suggestion. I'd like you to take out a pen and paper and list the most common objections you hear in the sales process. I'm going to share my 5 top common objections. But before we go there, often the customer's response is emotional. I can't afford that. I don't have that kind of money. That's an emotional response. Part of your job as a service advisor is to turn that into a response based on thoughts and logic. So here's my top 5 list, the top 5 most common objections. Number 1, I don't have the money. Number 2, I'm just going to trade it in. Number 3, I need to talk to my significant other. I need to talk to my spouse, my dad, whomever that might be. Number 4, that's way too expensive. And number 5, and this is the unspoken objection, which is really why most customers say no, it's the response or the objection of no need. And that means, as a service advisor, we haven't done a good job of explaining to the customer exactly what it needs and why it needs that. And in today's world, we do that through a proper digital inspection explained thoroughly through the service advisor. Did you write down your 5 most common objections? Now let's talk about, I want you to think about the next time a customer says that objection, exactly what we're going to say. It's called having a game plan. So when somebody tells me, I don't have the money, I try to overcome that objection by letting them know, if I can find you the money, can we go ahead and take care of that repair? You see, that's a qualifying question, and we use the plethora of same as cash options available today. Number 2, I'm just going to trade that car in. I don't know about you, but has your customer really looked at the price of what new and used car vehicles cost? You know, the thought that goes through my mind is, why would you throw $30,000, $50,000, whatever that number is, at a problem I feel we could resolve for just a couple $1,000s? And then, of course, you're tied into those payments. You know, the other objection, I need to talk to my significant other, my father, my wife, my husband, whatever it might be. The answer to that objection is, let's get them on the phone. Do you mind if you give me their phone number and we can go through them together? You know, when you think about it, who's going to do a better job of explaining it? The customer calling the husband or the father and telling them all of the things the vehicle needs? Again, without the proper explanation, they just don't have enough information to make a good decision. Another objection, that's too expensive. When I hear that objection, I haven't shown the customer enough value in what we provide. So I start talking about the quality of my technicians, the quality of the parts, and the stellar warranty they're going to get by getting that vehicle repaired with me today. And lastly, the unspoken objection, no need. So you've just talked to the customer about potentially a laundry list of items. Some of them are maintenance items, some of them are safety items, and of course maybe the original issue that the customer brought the car in. How well of a job did I do in explaining to that customer exactly why these repairs or services are so important? Sometimes you got to look in the mirror. So here's a great exercise. I call it a pro tip. Every time the customer would say no, I want you to write down on the back of that repair order or on a piece of paper exactly what the objection is. How can you overcome an objection if you don't know what it is? Now there's a proper way of asking that question. I typically say, Mrs. Smith, I want to make sure I'm doing my job correctly. Mrs. Smith, is there any particular reason why you wouldn't take care of the needed repairs today? Most customers typically do, and I want to make sure I'm doing my job correctly. Again, I'm trying to get to the objection so I could potentially overcome the objection. So next time the customer says no and declines the sales at your shop, you potentially now have a way to overcome those no's and turn that no into a yes. That's all for today. Hey, do me a favor, if you like this video, please let me know. You can give me a thumbs up, sure would appreciate it. Thanks so much.